Coming up today on The Spiel.
You only have so much time in the day,
Exactly.
and if I'm trying to build a multi-million-dollar business, I can only talk to the buyers.
Maybe I can just work some of my culinary magic and turn it into delicious foods that Americans will embrace.
And then as I got older and started playing instruments, and I kind of feel like it was just a part of my DNA.
Whiskey pretty.
This is The Spiel. You know, we're not at all bitter that we're at work today, right, guys? I mean, we're like down to a skeleton crew. How many? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, typically we have what, like 25 to run this show? Guess where they are?
They're in Colorado.
Would you like to take a little sneak peek at them on the slopes? They're out there doing like, they're claiming to do rain commercials, you know, that crazy stuff you drink and you feel like you can just go forever in a day. But anyway, we're glad they had a good time. They're gonna bring back some incredible video, and that's what we do here at The Spiel. We take you outside the realm of, you know, where you are right now currently. And, you know, what also does that is the social media. I mean, you've heard about it, and we follow it, and we watch these stories. And many times we watch it. Some people like to watch it so they can argue. Others like to watch it so they can feel good. But have you seen the story of the older gentleman? He's a pizza delivery guy. And this couple, they were just so taken by this man that they'd started one of those funds. They've given this older gentleman, just gone back several times and given him money. We're going to watch the story.
Hello, are you looking for some pizza?
Yes, I am.
Sure do appreciate you. I've been by you
Yeah.
1,000 times. I go
Yeah.
to church over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Been coming this
cool.
way for 35 years.
Yeah.
How long you guys been here?
Not too long. Probably about 6 or 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so not too long.
Well, it's nice to know you, neighbor.
Yeah, you too.
Hi, gorgeous.
Well,
How you doing?
we'll
Thank
see
you
you
very
around
much.
then.
Sure do
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
you.
See ya.
So it looks like everybody fell in love with this gentleman. Some of you have commented about doing a Venmo challenge tip for him. So I wanted to go ahead and initiate it. Let's get it going. Wow, guys, look at this. Look at this. You guys did this. We are about to bless this pizza delivery man. Together as a community, we all were donating 50 cents to $1 for you. And collectively, because there was thousands of people that loved you and love you, we collected over $12,000 for you.
That's all yours.
All yours.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
How come? Why would you do such a thing?
They love you, so they wanted to give you a present.
My
And
gosh, I don't feel it. I don't believe this.
yes,
It's-
that's all yours.
It's everybody here on TikTok. They're the ones that made this possible, and they did this for you.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't believe this.
Absolutely. We love you. We love you.
Oh, I love you too.
And we
Here,
live
I
down the
want
street.
a hug too.
There's also another guy you're going to want to check out. He's here on the show today. A massive, get this, he is a massive social media fitness star. I told him, I walked up to him, I said, hey, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on. I mean, typically he's shirtless, and for good reason. I mean, the guy looks really great. And apparently he's going to teach us how to make a lot of money today. So I'm super excited about that. Also, this other guy goes down smooth as 100 proof. I'm sure this is a very good whiskey that we're going to talk about today. Pyme Hernandez is here to perform on You're On. And then finally, pulling up the rear there, the mighty cricket. I'm going to let you just think on that. We might eat bugs. She's in the house. We're super excited about that. So, hey, we need you to stay right there where you are. You're probably missing Julie. She's not in Colorado, or she might be. She claimed to be a little under the weather today, but I'm thinking she might have joined the guys on the slopes there in Colorado. If she did, that's fine. We forgive her. So anyway, stay right there. Buckle up. It's going to be a really good show.
hey, there's still a lot more of this show to come.
I would say that being able to do what you want when you want, that to me is success.
Coming up later.
When I see you, you still get me.
I love doing this every day. Working here really gives me a sense of purpose.
You know that you're going to be able to go to Ray Clinic and be able to be seen, not worry about it being shut down or anything like that.
No one is turned away.
Because the whole purpose isn't about, money and the bottom line. The whole purpose is being here so that we can help people. Everyone deserves care. Everyone deserves access to it there. And I don't care, who you are, where you're coming from there. You're going to get the best care that I can give every time.
Be safe.
Stay strong.
CRHPC.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started. My name is John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm. We're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
I always wanted to play in the NFL, and then when that dream didn't come to fruition, I was in engineering school, and it's not that it's bad. I just didn't want to do that the rest of my life, and so I knew the only way I could kind of control my destiny was to start my own business, and so that's where that all started from, and that's kind of what my book's about, just going through that journey.
Now, Tanner Chittister, this has been one that we're all so anxious to hear from you, because you're going to teach us today how to make millions and millions of dollars.
That's the goal. Yeah, I'll do my best. It's a lot of pressure, but I'll do my best.
You walked into the studio, and I really did not recognize you with clothes on.
Yeah.
Because you have a wonderful portfolio online of your abs. I feel like I know them well.
Yeah, so a few years ago when I was modeling, that was when I was a little bit younger, and they're all up on Google now. So it's actually kind of a joke with me and my team. We joke about it, but
there you go. Absolutely. So an infinite income, and it's so cool and it's refreshing when you hear about someone like you. You seem to be the light in the dark. Even in troubled times, it's like, hey, you're in control of your future and your destiny. Get out there and do it. It seems like that's much of your message.
Yeah, just for me, I was in engineering school, and it's not that it's bad. I just didn't want to do that the rest of my life, and so I knew the only way I could kind of control my destiny was to start my own business, and so that's where that all started from, and that's kind of what my book's about, just going through that journey.
You didn't finish school, so that's really hard to give the parents a call, or whoever thinks you're there.
So they weren't happy because I had good grades. I actually worked really hard to get into A&M. They have a very competitive engineering program, and so they couldn't believe it either. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, I don't know. My ex-girlfriend, her mom, my parents, they were not, they weren't very happy about it. They were, oh, if that's what you want to do, but they were not happy.
Well, you've been able to scale this, obviously, a company grossing more than $21 million. What's the secret? And at the end, it really comes down to believing in yourself, probably, and then hard work, putting in the work.
Yeah, so a lot of people, it's one of two things. It's either the skill, so they're not able to do the things like whether it's phone calls or sales or marketing, or two, they just have the wrong path. And it's always easy to kind of use the path as the scapegoat, because a lot of people will try something and they say, oh, that doesn't work. but they're not very good.
Right.
And so for me, I would say the first 3 years I was building skills. I just didn't know the right path. And then when I figured out the right path, all those skills were built up. And so it took off very quickly.
Is there something to that whole, if you can see it and believe it, you can be it?
I mean, I think so. For me, I just always thought, well, if he's successful, then what is he doing that I'm not? And I've always taken that and used that to my advantage. That's really helped me.
And it evolves. I mean, you talk about that being very relevant. You cannot do what you did 5 years ago and market successfully today.
Yeah, it's all about positioning and pivoting. So even with COVID-19, you saw that a lot of businesses that didn't pivot, they're not around anymore, some of them. And so I think the ability to continue to be successful is you have to be able to pivot and you have to be able to adapt. And a lot of people are not very good at that.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they want to buck the trends. They don't want to get on that social media, that their social media, that sometimes they just, they really dismiss it. And it's just a gold mine there and waiting for you to harness it.
I don't like social media. So
I don't either.
So the irony is that before I had a business, I had no Instagram, I had no Facebook. But once I figured out it could create money, that's the purpose for me. And so obviously there's you want to connect with people and you don't just want to strictly use it just to sell people. But that's really the goal is for me, it helps you put your word out there, which otherwise, without social media, you can't have the businesses we have today. They didn't exist. So that's the benefit is now instead of having to have your traditional brick and mortar only, you can go online and make a ton of money traveling the world or doing other things. So.
That's right, absolutely, and positioning yourself. So if someone has a product or a service and they're like, yeah, I want to learn more from Tanner, what's the best first step for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they wanted to learn more from me, obviously we have my book that just came out, Infinite Income. That goes a little bit through my journey, and it doesn't cost a lot because a lot of people, they're scared to invest.
I love how you talk about qualifying that individual or that scenario because we can get bogged down. We have so many opportunities and so many things, perhaps those leads that we want to follow and such. But it's so easy sometimes to miss it because you get so overwhelmed with the tasks that you've put before yourself, and you just should simplify.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of people, they don't have good processes. So even when I started my business, I was taking calls from everyone and talking to everyone, and then I started realizing, okay, when they say this, they're probably not gonna buy, or they're not a fit, or they're not ready. And then as I did that, I started adding more processes to get my time back because this used to blow my mind. People would say, oh, well, you should just talk to everyone. You don't care about people. And it's like, no, you only have so much time in the day.
Exactly.
And if I'm trying to build a multi-million-dollar business, I can only talk to the buyers. And I have to figure out who the buyers are quickly because people aren't just gonna raise their hand to sell them.
What is success for you, though? Is it really defined by the money at the end of the day, or what is it for you?
No, so that's a great question. So I didn't grow up with a lot. I wouldn't say I grew up a bad childhood, but I only had what I needed. And so what I think I've learned in terms of success is that money definitely doesn't make you happy. I think there's definitely something more there in fulfillment. But I would say that being able to do what you want when you want, that to me is success. Because instead of buying the cars and the penthouse and all that now, I think it's more, I want to use that for experiences.
Absolutely.
So, whatever that may be.
Where do you see the future? I mean, what do people need to dial into, right?
I think for most people, beginners, someone who doesn't have a lot of skill, money, they got to go online because any other option has a lower chance of success. So just me as a coach or a person, when I'm looking at someone, I say, hey, what's the best chance of success? I got to give them the best option. It doesn't mean other things can't work, but why would I tell someone to do something that's twice as likely to fail versus this, if that makes sense.
Right. And you do talk a lot about, that 6 degrees or surrounding yourself with positivity and like-minded people and those that you would aspire to emulate. That's pretty important.
Yeah, so as you stay in your own lane and you just try to be positive and you have success, the right people will find you.
Sure.
A lot of times people go, how do I get this person to do stuff with me? And yes, you can try to offer them value, but sometimes it's just be successful yourself. And as you're more successful and you do more things, I've had a lot more opportunities come my way because, well, who's this guy? What is he doing? Oh, he's in his 20s, he's doing this. And so I've had a lot of stuff, especially recently, come my way.
Now, also those feeds, do you have to spend a lot of money to boost or do those ads, or you kind of have a formula for that, don't you?
So, I mean, you don't have to spend money to make money, but it's a lot harder. So, what ads do essentially is get my face out there to people who don't know me. And that was a big thing. That was a turning point is Businesses fail because people don't know you exist. So all ads do, people think it's a magic button, but really all it does is they see me, they click, and then once they click, the marketing takes over. So a lot of people go, oh, well, if I just run a bunch of ads, I'll be successful too. It doesn't necessarily work that way, but if they don't know you exist, you definitely won't be. So, you know, if you could put $1 in and get $2 out,
oh, sure,
it doesn't matter. And so, but it's just really understanding how marketing works so that that happens. Because some people, they put money in and it's like gambling. They can't, you know, they're not going to come out on the other side.
Your
okay.
target market is the world, isn't it? I mean, you're trying to reach the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's business owners. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's as big as, say, the fitness market when I started there.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of people who are in business or want to start a business or so on and so forth. So yeah, absolutely.
Never been a better time, especially if you've got that mindset of nobody will outwork me. Why not do it for yourself, right?
Yeah, you can be tall, fat, short, white, black, green, orange. It doesn't matter. As long as you put in the work and you have a good process, you can be successful. And so that's just, I've taken that same work ethic from sports, I put into business, and it's worked out okay.
Are you going to negotiate your way into the NFL?
Oh,
Maybe
man,
the Super Bowl?
I mean, no. I mean, for me, like, I think it'd be more a goal to own a team at this point. You know, like when I'm in my 50s or 60s, if I can, I think I can maybe own one. But
well, you're awesome. Did we cover everything, or is there something else you want to share with people?
No. I would just, you know, just for anyone listening, I just want to kind of be like a beacon of encouragement. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and there's a lot of people who are going to put you down. And for me, if I had that one mentor who kind of kept nudging me, it's crazy. But instead of being here today, I'd be, you know, working a corporate job, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's just crazy to think of the difference my life would look.
Yeah.
And so just for people out there, if you're struggling, just you know, find someone who knows what they're doing, who's where you want to be, pay them or get mentoring or whatever you have to do, and then just put in the work, you'll get there. And success it's not this luck formula. It's 2 + 2. If you want to be somewhere, find someone who's done it, get help from them, and put in the work, and you can be successful too. And a lot of people, they think it's out of grasp, but it's not.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
This will give you the ability to chew and eat just like you have a third set of teeth. Over the course of the past 20 years, I became trained in implant dentistry. Those surgeries can be very invasive. IV sedation is an ideal thing for those patients that are having more invasive procedures. The doctor needs to be well trained. You need to have a trained staff to get through their appointments smoothly and comfortably.
See the leader in dental implants and sedation dentistry, Hughes Dental Arts Center.
We need you to subscribe to YouTube so we have as many viewers there as we do on Fox. I think we're at like 1 million plus.
Can you cue the music? All right, so we're gonna start off. Every move's gonna be 30 seconds. No breaks in between. I'll let you know when you can take a break. Start with your hands up. You're gonna pull your knees to your chest and your arms down to your side for 30 seconds. And then after your 30 seconds is up, no breaks in between, you're gonna twist. You're gonna go opposite elbow to leg. The same thing, twist, twist. And you're staying in place the whole time. And you're working your core and you're warming up your muscles. Getting your heart rate up. And then after 30 seconds of that, I'll give you an option. This is where I'm gonna get down. Mat, no mat, I forgot my mat. See, like I said, no excuses. So you go down here, and you either hold the plank, make sure your belly button and your spine are together, and you're gonna be shoulders over your palms, and you're gonna tap without moving too much of the rest of your body. Just try to move your hands to your shoulders. If this is a little much for you, don't feel bad about it. Drop your knees and tap for 30 seconds. And that works your upper body and your core. And then for the last thing, we're going to just squat. squats and either jump or if that's a little too much, that's fine. Here to your toes, which I call it a releve, because I'm a dancer. Releve, releve. And it's so important to not forget about all the parts of your body. Pull your knees up into your thighs. And that's really what gets those muscles to work. For more exercises or anything lifestyle, find me at my Instagram. It is Autumn Reynolds with 2 S's, 1 underscore.
The biggest thing is we want people to feel safe to come to the clinic and be seen. And it's so important, just like every year, especially this year though, to get the flu shot. CDC is recommending you get it at the end of October. We already have flu shots in stock, and we're willing to start administering those. But definitely follow up with your healthcare provider to get a flu shot. That's so, so important, especially going in this season. We're going to continue to have COVID infections as well.
The Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
What's up, guys? My name is P. May Hernandez. I'm super excited to be here on the Spiel. I'm going to play a song for you guys that I wrote with Christopher Hall. We just released a music video today, so I'm super excited for it. It's called Whiskey Pretty. I hope you guys like it. Here we go. Just takes one sip out of the bottle to get me thinking about you. Another shot of bourbon whiskey, and I'm still sitting here thinking about you. You're so whiskey pretty, you got me thinking about you. So whiskey pretty, yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty, whiskey pretty. When I see you, you still get me. Even after all that we've been through. Another shot of bourbon whiskey, baby, couldn't make me feel the way you do. So whiskey pretty, you got me thinking about you. So whiskey pretty, go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty, whiskey pretty. Whether I'm sober or feeling bulletproof, you got me drowning in so whiskey pretty, got me thinking about you. So whiskey pretty, yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. So whiskey
pretty. You got me thinking about you. So whiskey pretty. Yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Alfonso Alexander. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, but I do work all over the country and enjoy being an advocate for positive development and change for both businesses and people. You have different levels of visionary thinking and visionary people. Me, I don't really need an example. I just may get inspiration from something, and then I can visualize how that can be a new venture in my life. Others may come along slower and they need to see an example or have someone explain it, give them a visual from there. Really knowing yourself as a leader, as an entrepreneur, knowing who you are and how you respond to things is very critical and is the first step. But then once that vision is there, now it gets to a little bit tougher step, and that is how do you execute? How do you put things in place to do that? So for me, once I have a vision for something, I then look at, okay, what are some strategies that I need to put in place to be able to execute on that vision? And then where are the tactical components that are going to be critical for success in that area, and how do I measure them? So literally on either New Year's Eve or my birthday, every year, I go to a restaurant at 6 a.m., have breakfast, and lay out my goals for the following year. And so I'd have me a cup of coffee and a sausage and biscuit, and I'm working on my goals for the year, which start with what I know my purpose and overall vision for life is, then down to my mission statement, and now I've got my goals that I make sure that I have the tactical pieces in place, and I do that every year. And businesses could do and should do the same kinds of things, because without having that focus on what is it that we're trying to accomplish, all of the fires and all of the things that come up on a day-to-day basis can take us off center, and now we're not aligned with what we're really trying to do as a business or an entity or even an individual person.
Hernandez, thank you so much for being, you're on right now. How does it feel?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
Different
you so
than being
much.
off,
yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Sweet guy from Nashville, very talented, a big day
Thank
for you. You got
Yes.
a video coming out.
Yes.
What is that like? You know, you go through the process and then you get to the release. What does that feel like?
It's incredible. It's like all the jitteries and all the nervousness and just everything crazy about it. And then to see like all the hard work that we put in,
Absolutely.
like finally pay off. So that's the most exciting thing to, see.
Very good. You know, we watch artists each week that we put up here on the stage, and you play, and it's like you hit that last little chord, and for a second you're wondering, did they like it?
Yeah.
Are they going to clap? Are they going to, do you feel that way, or is that just my perception?
I do. I think we all do. Obviously, we're creating music. We're creating this art that we hope people would like and love. And so, yes, ultimately, we would want satisfaction, smiling faces and hands clapping.
Yeah, a standing ovation is also good. You take that, right?
Absolutely.
Has this always been your dream, your goal, to do something musically based?
It has. As I look back, and I remember singing songs in the car when I was little and thinking I knew all the words to the songs, and I didn't even know the song,
Right.
And then as I got older and started playing instruments, and I kind of feel like it was just a part of my DNA. And then when I got older and became an adult, I kind of got involved in church and doing worship stuff and playing guitar and singing more, and kind of decided I wanted to write songs and kind of do the artistry thing. So kind of back and forth through church and doing my own thing. And then when I moved to Nashville, that's where my songwriting career really kind of took off.
Awesome.
So
God is good.
yes,
Doing
amen.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you know, you take great satisfaction when you talk about just the song. It's
Yes.
your writer's
Yes.
round.
Yes.
What is that, and how does that work in Nashville?
Awesome. So Just the Song is a round that I was curating. I was filling in for someone who had asked me to play around for them.
Okay.
And they were hosting it and had to go out west on tour. Said, hey, would you mind filling in? I think you'd be the great person to do this. I was like, oh no, I don't think so. And so ended up I filled in as a host for her. And then she said, I'm not coming back. Do you want it full time?
So this is your permanent gig now. Yeah.
Right. So at that point, I changed the name and made it Just the Song. It was called Nashville Behind the Song by a lady named Gina Jones, who's a songwriter in Nashville, great person. So I kind of started doing that and started booking people, and I have a couple places that I host rounds around town, and it's just fun because we get to talk about songs that we write and share them with the world and see how these songs become what they are and hopefully in the world.
Do you get them in the hands of those artists that can get you paid ultimately?
We try to.
Yeah.
We work really hard to try and do that. And
that's awesome.
Yes.
So you're a remarkable talent. They need to find you. You have a website.
Yes.
And how else do they get your music?
So basically, you can go to my socials. So I've got my link tree on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok.
You're out there.
We're doing it, yes.
Okay.
PMayHernandez.com and YouTube.
Awesome.
So
very good. Very talented.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right. We'll be right back.
Coming up next.
Avocados are really high in omega-3s. Mighty Cricket's clean protein powder has even more omega-3s in a more bioavailable form.
We're still treating patients, whether they're sick or they're coming for routine follow-up appointments. We want people to feel safe to come to the clinic and be seen. We don't want people with chronic medical conditions to go without treatment and for the patients to even get more sick as a result.
Really, it's a testing time. And again, we are here. Call us. If you can't come in, we'll see you on telepsych. We'll do an outreach.
This is what we signed up for as healthcare professionals, and we're going to continue providing optimal care for all our patients and their families.
And we are spieling it in the kitchen, compliments of Prairie Farm, so we appreciate that. Today we have Sarah Schlafly, and you may think beer immediately, right, in St. Louis. I mean, everybody knows the Schlafly line, but no, we're here today to talk crickets, my friend, the mighty cricket.
The mighty crickets.
I've been reading about you ever since I found out that you were booked on the show, and I love an adventure, so I think that's what we're going to have today.
All right? Good.
So how did this journey start for you, Sarah, and where are we now in that regard?
Well, the journey started 5+ years ago when I was looking for a clean protein source that could sustain us through the next 30 years. And I came across insects as a food source, and I was like, what is this? 2 billion people across 80% of the world's countries eat insects, but we don't eat it here in the US. And I thought, First of all, that is really gross. I do not want to eat an insect.
Okay.
And second, I was very intrigued because it's so healthy and it requires a fraction of the world's resources. And I'm like, well, this really is a protein that I've been looking for. Okay. Maybe I can just work some of my culinary magic and turn it into delicious foods that Americans will embrace.
I think you have. I think you've done that. And now, like you said, you're going out into the retailers and the retail shops there and online, and people are going to be curious to know about the recipes and how you use those.
Yeah.
So what's the process? Do you have a cricket farm, or what is the process?
I don't own one personally. I work directly with the cricket farmers.
Okay.
I've tasted crickets from all over the world. And the best ones are in Thailand. They've been doing crickets
in Thailand.
Yeah, they've been doing crickets the longest. So our products are high protein, low sugar, convenient, that's key. And the cool thing about it is that they can be delicious just by themselves, but when you can put them into other recipes, it adds a shortcut, it adds nutrition, and it makes it a step above.
Okay. We don't have any live ones that we're going to bring out, do we?
No.
No live crickets today to munch on. So I'm excited. Let's jump right in. I think you have a bread of some sort.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to make is a 6-ingredient banana bread.
Okay.
So we have a cup of flour here. We're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder, and we're going to do our vanilla clean protein powder.
Okay.
And just a 1/3 cup is all it takes. So this is what it looks like. Nothing buggy about it, just pure clean protein. And the really cool thing about this recipe, like I said, is it's only 6 ingredients. So next, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons melted Prairie Farms butter, and 2 bananas. This recipe has no added sugar in it, which is really cool, and it's high protein, so it's a great option for breakfast. Now, my little hack for banana bread is just mashing the banana while it's still in the peel, and I just squeeze it out like it's toothpaste.
We like hacks.
So that's pretty much it. You combine, you stick in the oven in a 325-degree oven, and bake for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
So once you finish doing that, the end product.
Ooh, look at that, girl.
Now I always like to top it with some fresh sliced bananas.
That's amazing.
So that is our recipe number 1. We're already done.
Okay.
So recipe 2 is a chocolate avocado mousse.
Okay.
And avocados are really high in omega-3s. Mighty Cricket's clean protein powder has even more omega-3s in a more bioavailable form, which means you get a bigger bang for your mighty buck.
Okay.
And we're gonna start with half an avocado.
That was a big complaint too, is that the markets didn't really provide what we needed and in short supply. And you've definitely met the need here.
Yeah, I was getting really tired of industrialized meat. And so I wanted to come up with a solution that was going to be healthier for us, the animals, and the planet.
Very good.
Okay, I pre-froze some bananas, and we're gonna add about 1 banana to the blender. So we're gonna do a half a cup of this guy, and then fill it with some water, and then we'll whip it up. So this is our chocolate mousse.
Okay.
And it's delicious by itself. We're going to layer it with some berries. And, you know, people really like Mighty Cricket protein because it's dairy-free. But if you are a fan of dairy, our products go beautifully with this yogurt called Yobel. It's founded out of St. Louis.
Okay.
And so I brought some of their coconut yogurt to layer it with.
That's
Look at
right.
that. That's practice right there.
That's good, girl. You did well. So did you see the idea anywhere, or just truly research and then realizing that they were utilizing it in other countries, right?
I've spent 10 years in the food industry, so I've kept my eyes peeled for the right protein. And when I heard about this, it just really jumped out at me. All right, and then we'll top it with some pecans. And there we got recipe number 2.
Very nice.
Mousse.
Very nice. We had to take care of this company, the new age of teeth whitening. They sent us all these goodies, and they asked for just something, you know, just something to put up on their feeds from the Spiel. If you have received this, Apparently you are an influencer, but this is so cool. It is patented, it is one of a kind, all-in-one whitening system. This is beautiful packaging. So A+, Growing Media Marketing produces the Spiel, and I can tell you that they gave you an A+ on your packaging, which is where it starts in marketing. Say hello to your new smile. Would you get a load of that?
That would look good.
You want to hold it? You just hold it. I don't think you're going to be able to take that home, but no, I'm thinking that this one's better for you. Would you look at this?
I see what happened here. The wired one.
This is cordless, boo. And look. Would you look? Christmas all over again. Okay, and they take care of you because they have this wonderful lip treatment, because we all know anytime you do anything, you go to the dentist or whatever, they're holding your mouth open, what happens? It dries out around here, right? Dries out. So this is the Snow Lip Exfoliator.
It takes the dead skin
off your lips, so you are kissable. I got something to tell you before you dip that in, okay? So watch this. Not that you have a problem with this, but this fabulous applicator, it doubles as a bag. You can reduce your bags under your eyes. They thought of everything.
So you're saying, do you have a problem with that? Or?
Just the way we work here, at the Spiel and Growing Media, long days.
So we're doing this on our lipstick.
Oh, that's fabulous. You know what? It's very affordable. I want you to go online because here's why. As a marketing agency, I never want to, hem somebody in. So I don't know if they're offering a special, a sale, but definitely check out their marketing and check out all those people that they've sent this packaging to, which, by the way, influencers and testimonials, best way to sell your product. Best way. Did you know snow is the only way to go? Wow.
So our next recipe is just going to be a classic bowl of oatmeal, but with some delicious toppings. Okay. And I'm going to do our top seller, which is our coconut cream oatmeal.
So how do they get your products now? What's the best way?
The best way is to go just to mightycricket.co.
Okay.
And if you want to do a trial buy, we have these fun little sampler packets.
Oh, yeah.
And if you sign up for a newsletter, you can get free shipping too.
Very good.
All right. So as that's just cooking up, we are going to switch over to our fourth recipe, which is energy bites.
Oh, yeah. Those are so popular. Right
Yeah.
now.
So I have a big heaping scoop of peanut butter here. And to this, we're going to add some of our dark chocolate oatmeal. There's a recipe online if you have to be really precise with your recipes. So the reason why I call these energy bites is not only is it a popular name for the dish, but Mighty Cricket protein truly gives you a lot of energy because it is a very natural source of vitamin B protein. Okay. And it's really high in vitamin B protein, 100% of your daily value. And so that's the energy vitamin that we're also deficient in. Okay. And that's why I have so much energy today.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I don't. I could use some.
So we just keep adding the binding ingredients until it starts to form up, and then you can start rolling balls. Recipe number 4. So it's like oatmeal to go, and you can store these for a couple of weeks in the refrigerator, in your pantry, and they are good to go.
Very good.
All right, back to our oatmeal. That almost took our hair off.
Yes, yes.
So we're gonna just pour this into a bowl, then add our toppings. Okay. And I love creating different oatmeal topping variations. It really elevates the bowl. We'll start with some chia seeds, and then add our fruit.
So what's next? You think the Mighty Cricket restaurant chain?
I think the next step is to really push retail and try and get my products to go mainstream because of the environmental impacts of this protein source.
Right.
It all of a sudden we have an opportunity to make it highly equitable form of protein. We can drop down the cost if we can get it to go mainstream. So what we need is all of you to really embrace this clean protein source so we can make it a really integral part of our food chain.
Very nice. Well, we're going to take some pictures and then we're going to dive in and try it, okay? Thank you, Sarah. This is my first cricket. Very good. Very good. And you know what? It doesn't have that weird aftertaste like normal protein. You know what I mean when you buy?
Yeah.
So good. All right, what are we doing next? This one?
Let's do the mousse.
Okay.
This one is so great because it tastes like dessert, but you can eat it for breakfast and not feel guilty.
You guys do not know what you're missing with the crickets. You hear me? All right.
All right. How about our top-selling oatmeal? This is coconut cream.
With the chia seeds, all that good stuff. Girl, if I thought you were crazy, I'm now in love with your stuff. So good. So good. Do people look at you like you have 3 heads usually when you say the cricket thing?
Oh, well, a lot of people don't realize because we talk about clean protein and just keep it generic. A lot of people think Mighty Cricket is a symbol, which is great. I want to just hide it in plain sight. So that's the idea is to, as you're trying these foods, to forget about being so focused on the bug and just loving the food you have. And all natural sugars, no added sugar.
Very good.
We use a monk fruit sweetener.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
Wonderful.
for having me.
The Mighty Cricket binder, definitely.
Eat clean, live mighty.
All right. Is the gas turned on?
I just turned it on.
Oh, you did. Okay. Oh! I burned one again. Oh, Lord, have mercy, child. I would have put my... Please tell me somebody was rolling on that. That's going to be... We could go viral with the cooking show that caught fire.
Oh man, that was mighty. All right. Mighty flame.
I'm going to need to catch my breath here, kids. Everybody okay? Everybody got there? I mean, we might have lost a little bit of hair and eyelashes, but we're good. Okay.
I don't smell burnt hair.
Okay.
Logan Fitness is all about the community.
I've been coming here for years, and it's like one big family.
It's a place where I can push myself.
Healthy living and socializing with my friends.
I walk into Logan Fitness and I'm always greeted with a smile and someone friendly at the front desk.
There's something here for all ages, and everyone is super friendly.
It's a place where I can become the best person that I can be.
The gym doesn't have to feel like an intimidating place.
She had tried to obtain testing, wasn't able to. We were able to provide the tests for her, and within 2 days we had the results knowing that it was positive.
My name is Shirley McEwan. I came down with some head congestion after sleeping 14 hours. I woke up and I had a low-grade fever.
Our corporation was able to provide testing pretty early. That's how we were able to diagnose some of the patients that we have that are COVID positive. So initially we started her on Zithromax, and we sent her home. We would check on her routinely at least twice a day.
She was very reassuring. It just was a pleasant experience in a really bad time.
5 weeks total, and then she had a negative COVID.
They were there for anything that I needed. I would recommend CRHPC to anyone, and I have recommended them to my own family.
We are taking every precaution to protect our patients, so you need to come in for your regular follow-ups, for immunizations. Children need to see us for well checks. Those are all regular things we do every day, and they still need to keep those appointments.
We want you to go check out all of our social medias. We've got spielon.com, that's our website. We've got the Spiel TV, which is on Instagram. That's where we post all the cool, fun stuff that we do. We have Spielon on Facebook, and we've got Team Spiel on Twitter, which I don't even know anybody who uses Twitter. But go to subscribe to all of those things and keep us on the air. YouTube. And subscribe to YouTube.
I tell you what, that was a good show. So good. Do we dare do them without Julie in the future? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It was a pretty good performance, right? She knows I'm teasing. We can't do this without her. And actually, you know, we were telling you that much of our crew happens to be in Colorado, but we've got this guy we want to bring on set. Jared, you can stop taking pictures. Just step up. He's just going to peek into the camera. Just come here. Come here. Just smile at him. This guy right here is known as the Crown Brew King, the coffee master. When he comes around, people are like, that's him. That's you. Hey, thanks for being here with your camera. Yeah. All right. So all the really cool behind the scenes stuff that you see on this show will be thanks to him. We're all fans. So if you don't know him, get to know him for sure. And coming up next week, Mark Elliott will be our musical guest next week, and Roots Run Deep in the Kitchen. So that sounds kind of interesting as well. Anyway, we do wish Julie well today. We really do, Julie. We miss you. So we need you to come on back, and we will see you guys back here next time.
Just takes one sip out of the bottle to get me thinking about you. Another shot of bourbon whiskey, and I'm still sitting here thinking about you. You're so whiskey pretty. Got me thinking about you. You're so whiskey pretty. Yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty. When I see you, you still get me. Even after all that we've been through. Another shot of bourbon whiskey, baby. Couldn't make me feel the way you do. You're so whiskey pretty. You got me thinking about you. So whiskey pretty. Yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty. Whether I'm sober or feeling bulletproof, you got me drowning in you. So whiskey pretty. Got me thinking about you. You're so whiskey pretty. Yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. So whiskey pretty. You got me thinking about you. You're so whiskey pretty. Yeah, you go down smooth like 100 proof. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty. Whiskey pretty.
If you guys enjoyed the episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps me keep my job. Thank you. Is that good?
My name's Delisa Guerrier. I'm originally from Oakland, California. I've been in Nashville since 2005.
My name is Elde Guerrier, French, like Perrier, Guerrier. I'm originally from Haiti, moved here in 1994.
My husband is like no one you've ever met. He just has this energy, this character that is larger than life. He has probably one of the most unique minds. So I was biology pre-med and I was headed to medical school. And I met a man who said, why would you go be a doctor when you could own a hospital?
It was this glow light around this. This wasn't a young girl, she wasn't a woman. It was just this beautiful thing. And then I was like, oh man, incredible journey. I call it journey because the magnitude of it is huge. It's an amazing story.
It was during the process of finding our first home. I enjoyed the process so much that he said, well, why don't you get your real estate license? And I got my real estate license, and a few years later, I opened up my own brokerage.
My wife was like, okay, I'll buy this property. And I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, why would somebody sell this property? It's been in the market for so long. What's so good about it? If it was that good, somebody will already buy it. It's been in the market for, the sign was rotten. Today, when you drive in that street, there's 16 townhome. And not just 16 townhome, it's the 16 townhome that we put there that's actually now moving the neighborhood. So we changed the face of the neighborhood, and the neighborhood love it. It grew to a massive 245 unit development. Now it's like everybody wants it.
I think that it's that sense of being able to create something permanent that shapes a neighborhood. And so it takes thinking outside of the box sometimes. We started small. We have accidentally grown to large projects fast. And I honestly don't know what fuels that other than God. To be able to provide home ownership is just a blessing in itself. With me having the background in my real estate firm, it's always just been a passion of mine to help people to be able to become homeowners. But then as I grew, I realized that there was a greater need of people who maybe aren't ready for home ownership or don't have that option just yet. So multifamily developments sprung up on us, large apartment developments so I think right now we're working on probably 4 multifamily developments around Nashville, all around 200 units apiece. My mom is actually a pile driver and a welder for the city of San Francisco. And she was one of the first women and Black women that was hired by the city in that position. And I look at her and I say, if my mom can build a bridge, I can build a house. To be in an industry that's very much fueled by men, it's rewarding to see, and this has happened a lot, where people have walked into my developments and said, this was done by a woman.
As much as I love to get deeper into that part of the story, it is hers to speak. From changing neighborhood to changing family, now we're going to change the city. We're going to change the state. And we're not going to just change one state. We're going to change many states.